up here above Graveyard Canyon one more time. That's Graveyard Canyon. Mount Baldy's over there. This is Susanna Canyon, East Fork. That's where I dropped down in one of the previous videos. Justin from Arizona is here. And we're going to try to make it up that this time. Past the orchard, up that this time, around the back. We're going to shoot for rattlesnake. If we get to a point back there where it looks too risky, we can't make it, we're going to come back and we're going to follow this ridge all the way back around, drop down, check out a few things on route.
And that'll drop us off into west, right? West Fork.
That'll drop us right down to about a quarter mile after that mine.
Yeah. Cool.
We've seen prints from what?
Deer, mountain lion. Definitely deer and mountain lion, right?
And bear.
That could have been a bear. It was big.
That's what she said.
At least two different sizes.
Deer, and it looked like also sheep. Okay, now right above the orchard, let me show you something. You guys questioned whether it was the orchard or not because you didn't see trees. Well, looks like a fire had been through here, but let me show you a place that the fire missed. Look at this. I think that right there, that center, I think that's where the guy's cabin was. One of the guys that he left in charge. And now look at trees. Look, there are remnants of trees down there. What kind, I don't know, but there are remnants of trees. Right about where he is, maybe a little further over. Yeah, there's another saddle. We gotta go down one more saddle. I dropped down over there one of those fingers. Went across through that riverbed, through the next riverbed, through a third riverbed, and then down, and I dropped over that side into Graveyard Canyon. I went up, oh, half mile maybe, but then I had to turn back. It was too thick. Went back out that way. This time we're going over this.
We're gonna go up that, right?
Yep. Here we're getting some elevation now. I'll pan around and show you where we are. That's the orchard there. And this is going up to the high point. We're going to pass what looks like to be a possible cave or a mine. Check it out. I got to go through there. But there's what we came up. That last time we were down there in the saddle, about the center of the screen, I think. Getting pretty high now.
Nice quartz outcropping here.
Look at that deep cut there. That's probably where the spring is. It looks really green. The spring that feeds this river that would go down to where those trees were left over. So when I came last time, I came down that ridge there, down the river, across the river, across the new divide, dropped over there, went down all those waterfalls, hit graveyard out, and came out way back there, walked back to my truck. Different ball game this time around. Different destination.
Look at what's that flat spot over there? Next to the shooting range.
That is the shooting range.
It's flattened out right there for it.
Yeah. They've got multi-levels in it. There's Mount Wilson.
That 50 BMG is illegal here in California.
Let's see. There's Mount Wilson. The observatory, center of the screen.
jet.
Look at that, is Catalina out there. You can see two harbors.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
Where's Catalina? I'll be going here next month. Let me see. That's the west end. There's two harbors right in there somewhere. Let's see. It's two harbors.
Now one of those peaks to the left there is Blackjack.
And the biggest peak to the right is Silver Peak. That's the highest point on the island. Where does it go from here to the top of the crest up there? Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Here we go.
What do you think, about a 40% grade?
Steep.
Easily?
No choice. In some places, it's way steeper than that.
Yeah, you could definitely be hitting 60 in some places.
Look at this though. We're near, I don't know if it's faults or not, but we're getting near the top.
I don't mind that. Be interesting to see what's on the other side here. See what the iron looks like. I think if we choose to go down that ridge, it's going to be less grade than we just did.
In most parts, but in some parts, like right off the bat, it's gonna be pretty steep. And then there's one point down here where it looked really steep.
Yeah.
And then when we get to there, we're gonna have to choose to take the right to the fork, which looks like a lot of brush, or we come down a few hundred feet and we can cross that thing, but then we gotta go back up.
Yeah, well that brush picks up right there pretty thick.
Yeah. Either way, I hope when we get down there, we can find a way down. You brought down, how many feet of rope did you bring?
75.
Oh yeah, we should be able to find a way down over there. We should be able to make it.
Yeah, about 75.
That would be interesting. Interesting circle.
I wonder if we can find some way to scale around this peak, or if we're summiting and then going down.
Shoot, we might as well summit.
Right here.
Rather than look at, that's pretty steep, the side action.
It's gorgeous. You can see quite a bit here. That's all West Fork, right?
Yeah.
And then that dam is probably right there where that clearing is and all those roads.
See that way? I think I can see the dam, believe it or not. Let me see. I think I can see the dam. Well, the buildings.
How did
I can, dude. I'm on the dam. I'm on the dam. Dude.
How far down from...
It's dry almost.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the one up at the end of past that camp. What's that camp called? It's the same name as the one over there, the 1 mile marker at Ice House. Glen Camp, Camp Glen. That's the one, the dam past Camp Glen.
That's
What?
where you had the bicycle Christmas party, right?
Yeah, what a view. I can see everything.
That fire freaking went through there pretty heavily.
Fire damage. Look at all that fire damage over there.
It's all gone.
I'll show you a close-up of the leaves, of the branches, and of the fruit. Does anybody know what this tree is? Here's some leaf action.
Leafage.
Branches. Fruit. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's that fire starter stuff, I think. The fire starter.
Into the fire.
I'm the fire starter. I think you can snort this stuff. Give it a shot. Here.
I don't know if it'll get you high, but
Getting higher, baby.
we're already high.
Baby. Higher, baby.
I think
Don't ever
there.
come down. Free base. Dun 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 dun. Yellow lines. Vision dreams of snow.
So if anybody knows what tree that is,
Let us know.
put it down in the comments. I don't know what the inside of that, it doesn't look like a seed pod.
Years ago, if you look back at my videos, 6 years I believe, maybe 7, my nephew Robert and I came in Graveyard Canyon. Let's see, the mine is right over here in this, where I came over, it's right in there somewhere. But, and that's where I came around trying to get up to it, but I couldn't get through. But we came up, if you make it up to this split, very few people have made it to this split. If you make it to this split, if you take the right will take you up to a cool waterfall back there. There's a cool waterfall back there, I've been to it. I'll zoom in on it in a minute. But if you take the left goes to where Graveyard begins. And we wanted to try to make it there to go up and explore some of that. But right in that area, right there, I'll zoom in on it in a minute, we found a torpedo. Torpedo stuck in the ground at about a 60-degree angle, a missile stuck in the ground, and he started touching it. Dude, don't touch it. It was blue with red fins, if I remember right. I remember it's blue. It was about a, 5-inch diameter, maybe 7-inch diameter, maybe. And it was standing about 4 feet out of the ground. The nose was buried in the ground. It looked like, I don't know how far it went in. But in the back, we twisted this lever in the back, and the back unscrewed, and there was electronics in it. And there was a picture of a name, of a label. I took a picture of it, so it's in there. I've tried to look it up, but I've never found anything on it. But that torpedo was in there. And I was telling Steve and Jen about it. And years later, 5 years later, 6 years later, about 5 years after that, Steve and Jen and I, we finally made it to just short of this divide. Where that divides, I'll show you that in a minute. And in the river bed, major rain had hit a couple years prior and flash flooded this. Believe it or not, this here flash flooded from melting snow or springs, I don't know, but this thing was about 4 feet deep, 5 feet deep. In some places in the canyon, you can see it was like 5 feet deep, where it ripped through and moved all this brush. We found a second torpedo laying on the ground. It's weird. Where did they come from? I know back there's a camouflage ramp. You guys have all seen it coming up on the right-hand side of the road. You'll see this camouflage ramp that goes down into nothing. Well, my friend's dad said in the 60s, 50s, 60s, the Navy was up here and they had torpedoes on wheeled carts rolling it down there with cameras to see how to design the nose cones better. So they tested torpedoes over there. But how did they end up from there to here is a total mystery. And I don't know if that one's still stuck in the ground. Nobody makes it back that far. Nobody. I'll tell you another real quick story. I brought a friend back here, and he was looking for a real nice waterfall place to, for some reason, I don't know, he wanted me to take him somewhere that nobody goes. So I took him back here where nobody goes to another waterfall, not the one I'm going to show you, but another one in the area. And I'm not going to show you for a specific reason. But all of a sudden he reaches in his backpack and he goes, well, Mom and Dad, I've carried you with me for a long time, and I'm going to leave you here. This is a beautiful place. And just as he released it, the wind switched in my direction, and my eyes got filled with his mom and dad, and I actually got some of his mom and dad in my mouth. And that's what she said, I know, but to me it did happen. That was over in this area, but there's a waterfall over here I'll show you that you can get to. It's pretty cool. You have to climb up the first one to get to the second one. That one you can climb up, but there's a second one back there. When it's flowing, right in there, when it's flowing, it's really neat. Flowing.
In the middle fork there?
And the torpedo was, let me see if I can get you down to where it was. It'd be something if I can actually see it. Let me see. right in that area. Right in that area. See that tallest tree? I think it was just before or just after that tallest tree. It really stands out when you're down there, that tree. That's the biggest one off the riverbed. I just had a tick on my arm.
Oh, I bet.
Anyway, so let's see. Yeah, so that's where one torpedo was. The other torpedo was right down in that area. There's a bunch of brush all clogged up. I mean, that time going in, if you guys know Steve and Jen, you can ask them how hard was it. Some of the brush was over our heads. We're climbing over piles, under piles. It was really, really hard just to get from point A to point B. I wanted to get them up there and show them this and show them that, but we didn't make it. We made it this far and we're like, we're done. We're done. We're out of here. Now looking across, it looks like possibly a mine. Let me see if I can focus in on that. Look at that. Let's see. See that road? There's a road going over there? What is that? I'll get out my secret agent spy scope and see if I can see what that is. But there's a road. There's an old road going to it. And there's a road coming across here. Look at this. See that road? Road coming across here. And then it continues on the other side. I don't know where to pick those up at, though. Where would you even begin to pick that up? I mean, maybe off of that ridge. Yeah, you do. You pick it up off the ridge. I can see it. Look at this. You pick it up off that ridge right there. See that ridge? And then the road drops down. And that road, whoa, what was that? I thought I saw a bighorn. Might have been. And that road comes around, to this side. It goes all the way back into there. Now, what other reason would they have for a road but a mine? Now I can see a spring there and a spring there. Look at that big waterfall there. There's a lot of mysteries back here. But if we were to continue, we're running out of time quickly, but if we were to continue, we'd have to go up this, over that, over that, over that, over that, around, up to there. And then from there, we're looking at 4.5 hours, about 4.5 hours down. 4 hours, 4.5 hours down to the road to nowhere. And then we're looking at about a half an hour walk back out to our car. So I don't think we're gonna make it today, dude.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be a good weekend trip or an overnight trip and camp right at the bottom of the summit there.
Spend the night down there, yeah.
In those trees. And then pop up in the morning.
That little, that saddle there, getting up that, Matt and I were grabbing a hold of weeds ahead of us. I mean, it's like this. Mm-hmm. It's a good climb.
Well, what trail connects there?
South Hawkins.
Oh, okay.
The other way goes to South Hawkins. We came from South Hawkins over there up, and that rocky thing there, that rocky
outcropping.
Yeah, that's not a trail. That's actually climbing. You're actually climbing.
But the trail goes through there.
There's no trail at that point.
Trail.
It's just a ridge. It's not actually a trail. You're just following the ridge.
It's beautiful. And then so that's Baldy, right?
Yeah, that's Baldy. See the 3 T's over there? You see Timber, Telegraph, Thunder.
Okay.
Baldy.
Timber's the one on the right-hand side there? The
yeah,
one?
the first one.
Yeah. Where's Ontario? Can we see Ontario from here?
Yeah, look across, see that snow?
Yeah.
And you see that pointed peak there?
Uh-huh.
Right there.
Oh, okay.
I know one of the locals, if he's still alive, his name's Ray. He used to deliver the propane or the wood to the Baldy locals. So if anybody in Baldy, you know Ray. And Ray said when he was 17 years old, if he's still alive, he was in his upper 80s, early 90s when I was with Molly, and that was almost 10 years ago already. 10 years, dude. It's like 9 years ago I was with her. Amazing. 2015 we split up. Anyway, so Ray said when he was 17, and he wanted me to do this, and if I did it, ever show him. He said when he was 17, he said they drove their cars up to Ice House Canyon early in the morning, 5 or 6 in the morning. They hiked up Ice House Canyon to the saddle, and then they went up that ridge. And they walked that ridge all the way down past the fire station. So they got out at 10:30 at night. And instead of going down and hiking back up to their car, they walked down into town where they knew somebody and knocked on the guy's door, and his mom gave him a ride back up to their car. But he goes, yeah, if you ever do that, I'd like to see it. Up Ice House, that entire thing, 10:30 at night he came out.
That Glendora Ridge Road looks worthwhile. I'm gonna go check that out.
Okay, we're sitting here looking at multiple things, possible hikes for the future. There's so much I want to do back here. I'd like to get down over there. I'd like to get over here. There's something I'd like to look at there. There's a possible mine over there. There's a lot of stuff in this canyon. But then we look down, and you know how Ancient Aliens, you heard that voice? That's the voice I've been hearing.
There's a voice.
I hear a voice back here.
A female voice.
Every once in a while you hear a voice. Anyway, on Charity of the Gods, they look down, you can see like the wasp, the ant, whatever. Well, for those of you who grew up driving in the 80s and you know about Mud Flap Girl.
Oh, you can still see Mud Flap Girl out there.
If you don't know what Mud Flap Girl is, I'll put a clip of it in. But look, I'm looking down, I'm seeing Mud Flap Girl. Look at this. It's just at a glimpse, but look. Here, let me put this out. Let me see. Look at that. Mud Flap Girl. Look at. There's one foot up to the knee. Comes down to the central mechanism. Up, other leg up.
Ooh la la.
There's Mud Flap Girl right there. Look at that.
Hey girl.
Somebody, Ancient Aliens, left us Mud Flap Girl in Graveyard Canyon.
I see it. It must be true.
We say yes. And you know what?
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Mud Flap Girl. Ah, yes. We remember you well. Mud Flap Girl, please listen.
I love your central mechanism.
One leg, two legs, a central mechanism. Charity of the Gods.
It's the reason I get up in the morning.
There's a little something left over from yesteryear, and look at this. This was not torch cut. This was cut out with about 5/16 drill bit.
Oh,
Continuous drilling. You can see the arc each time. That was probably the drill bit right there.
Yep. Interesting.
Don't know what it is, where it came from, what it was used for. But it's left over. From this point here, going up, it's all bushwhacking, it's all over your head. We got up to the saddle there, where we were looking down into the furthest reaches of Graveyard. Now we're back down on fairly decent ridge trail.
A little bit before we hit the trail.
But it was worth it to you. Why?
Well, to see those upper reaches of Graveyard were really badass. You know, it branches off to the east and to the west, or kind of north and to the east.
There's roads and looks like
badass,
there's mines.
yeah.
There's so much stuff back there.
And if you look, you might be able to see it from here. Yeah. So you can see that trail that comes straight across.
Yeah.
And that comes you from the road to nowhere, right?
The ridge to the west of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not to mention Mudflap Girl.
Yeah. And your lyrical skills.
Look at this. You got all these pistachios off of the guy's pistachio tree. But then look at this. This looks like bones, like a hand reaching the wrist. It looks like a hand reaching for the pistachios. Like that hand that used to go out and grab the coin. You put the coin in there and you come out and grab it. My brother had that black box. Grabbing the coin. Look, grabbing the coin.
What kind of vine is that?
I don't know. Looks like somebody built it to protect something they planted. Back down at our trucks.
Right here at the, this is where you hike into Graveyard, right?
Yeah, Graveyard's right there. So if you want to do that hike, you park right here before Graveyard. And you walk back here to the bridge and you go up Susanna Canyon. You're on the other side of this. It's a hard hike, but there's a lot of things to be found back there.